Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children not to hear my words, what they mean, what they say. Mother,
I really sound fucking retarded.
Mother, can you keep them in the dark for life? Can you hide them from a waiting world? Oh, Mother! Mother! Gonna take your daughter out tonight. Gonna show her my world. Oh, Mother! Not about to see your light.
Welcome to Privileged White Male Radio. My name is Rod, as it always is. Thanks for listening to me right here on Spreaker. I'm having a lot of fun on Spreaker. Fun with my sound effects. Fun with my intro music. All right, let's get right into it. It's time to cut the shit. Lost my mind yesterday. Why? Why else? Why do I lose my mind? 90% of the time. Facebook. That's right, Facebook. Facebook and politics. Let's start from the start. Basically down to Hillary and Trump, right? Bernie's just a fly in the ointment at this point in time. Pissing everybody off, including Debbie Wasserman Schultz. That whole story. But this whole thing about Donald Trump, and again, I'll say it many times I have to, not a Donald Trump supporter, not a Hillary Clinton supporter, I'm not a Bernie supporter, I'm a nobody supporter. They all stink. My opinion. But when I hear something like the shit that I've heard over the past couple of days, I can't just let it go. I can't. Not because it's Trump, but because it directly relates to the ideals that I hold. The beliefs that I have. And when those beliefs and ideals are assaulted by people and misconstrued for political reasons, it irks the shit out of me. This one hit pretty fucking close to home. The reason why I despise liberals, not all of them, but a good chunk of them, and it's this reason right here. Their absolute either lack of understanding or just pure blind hatred of success and money. Yes, I know. Hi. Oh, wow. There's a hot chick in a yellow convertible. One of the perks of being a truck driver. Woo. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I am a male. I'm sorry. I got thrown off the beaten path here by, whatever. Where was I? See, it doesn't take much. Oh, God, we men are weak, aren't we? I get it. Success and wealth, there is enough shit to go around for there to be distaste in everyone's mouth. Mine included. I see the shithead wealthy people. I see the shithead successful people. They're out there. But there are shithead people in every single group. This shit that's being thrown around all over the news today about that Hillary Clinton's trying to make stick with Donald Trump. I'm gonna break this down, explain it real nice and simple for the media, because they don't seem to understand it either, which isn't surprising. Oh, Donald Trump's an evil human being. He's a greedy piece of shit because during the housing market crash, he snatched up good deals on cheap real estate. And that somehow is just fucking evil. Oh my God. Who would do that? Elizabeth Warren says. Hillary Clinton says. Who would do such a thing? Well, let's get it straight, ladies. Politicians People like you, yeah, that's right, you're the people that are in charge. You're part of that group. If we're going to break every goddamn thing down by this group, that group, another group, my group, your group, let's look at this group, a group of politicians, a group of shithead politicians. Let's not even worry about whether they're from the right or the left. Our political leaders created an environment where the housing market took a giant shit. Boatloads of money was lent to people through government programs and government regulations that were put in place to people who could not afford to pay it back. That's not arguable. Have you been paying attention? Have you been listening to anything that's been said about this whole shit? The housing market crash. This has been going on for years. We should all be kind of up to speed on it by now, and I think a lot of us are. I'm going to start giving a little bit more credit to the public at large instead of buying what the media is selling. They're the ones that are in the dark, or intentionally in the dark, or lying, or misleading, whatever you want to call it. They're the problem. It's not the people out here. I think a vast majority of people do understand this, and the ones that don't choose not to because it doesn't suit them politically. The housing market took a shit. Donald Trump, along with a shitload of other people, took advantage of it. It's called business. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry that's business. But business is business after all. Is Donald Trump a piece of shit? Fine, you can have that opinion. Yep, what an asshole. What a fucking asshole for doing that. Who would do that? Okay, I'll even give you that argument. I don't subscribe to it, but I'll give it to you. You can have that opinion. You're entitled. But for these two to come across like they had their group had nothing to do with why it happened in the first place, how about we start from the start? How about we look at why this environment was created in the first place? That some evil rich guy could take advantage of it. It was people like you, Hillary Clinton. People like you, Elizabeth Warren. You really think this is going to stick? Here's the one thing. Forget all the housing market shit. Let's forget that for just a minute. Let's focus just for another second before I get to the final thing I really, really want to get to, the Facebook post that pissed me off. Let's look at this one particular thing about this year's election cycle and why everything that's being tried so far just doesn't seem to work or stick. The Teflon Don. How does he keep getting away with it? God, it's so simple, people. It's so simple. Donald Trump's not a politician. He's not. He's a businessman. Now, you can question his ethics as a businessman, but the same standards don't apply to him that apply to you, Hillary Clinton, you, Bernie Sanders, and you, Elizabeth Warren, and the rest of you that are involved in politics and leadership and government. The reason why you can't get away with the things that Donald Trump is getting away with is because he's not part of your group. He's part of a different group, and people understand that. He's part of a group that is business people. People who are in the business of making money, making a living, employing people. Now, people can make a judgment call on whether they've done that ethically or not, or whether they've done that right or not, but that has very little to do with politics and your history as a leader, a political leader. If a person in a position of leadership in government puts forth policies that fuck my life up and fuck your life up, that's on them. That's fair game, and that gets brought up in a election cycle because that speaks directly to how they will conduct themselves in the future and whether they should be elected, re-elected, or put in some other government position. That's common sense. People understand that. But Donald Trump, fucks a bunch of people in the housing market, if that's what you want to call it. And for some reason, he's not being held to account like the rest of the politicians and leaders are. Well, dummies. It's because he's not one. He's in the business to make money. That's his business. He's not in the business of leadership. And let's talk about that for a second. Let's just talk. You want to talk about hate the rich, hate the wealthy, evil people, just a bunch of money grubbing, worthless fucks taken, and then a tax. Okay, fine. But, why don't you same people be consistent with your argument and look at politicians as an elite group of shitheads? Holy fuck. You think the Clintons are not a part of that group? You think Barack Obama is not part of that group? You think I guarantee you almost every single leader, government leader, politician, elected official is in that group of elitist, snob assholes. Status. I'm a politician. I'm a leader. I'm important. And I have money. They all have fucking boatloads of money compared to the rest of us. It doesn't matter if they're conservatives. It doesn't matter if they're liberals. You think these people in leadership are fucking poor? You think they're getting by paycheck to paycheck like me and you, and that's why they can relate to the common man? No! That was how government was intended. It was supposed to be citizen statesmen going to bat for us. That's not what it is anymore. And anyone who thinks otherwise, regardless of political party or political ideology, is a dummy. It's why you people on the left just irk me. I understand where your core beliefs come from and your ideology and why you feel the way you do. And I believe you're entitled to it, and I believe that there are some valid points to it as well. I don't disagree with everything the left says when it comes to the wealthy, when it comes to the inequality between the haves and the have-nots. I don't disagree with all of that. What I disagree with is the way you put people on your side of the aisle up on some kind of pedestal like they're immune from exactly what it is that you're talking about and exactly what it is that you despise. They're a part of that problem. Just because they have a D by their name does not make them somehow in tune with your plight. They speak it with their mouths, but they don't live it with their lives. Open your eyes, people. Now, on to my Facebook post. I gotta flip my phone around. Find this frickin' post. And of course, the audio is gonna drop out, so I'll have to yell a little bit. This is from Elizabeth Warren. This is a Facebook post that I saw from one of my liberal friends. Yes, I have many. And no, I don't hate them. And no, we don't argue all the time. We do sometimes. But not a lot. I'm a pretty easygoing guy, despite what you may be hearing on this podcast. Here's Elizabeth Warren. This is the post. There is nobody in this country who got rich on their own. Nobody. You built a factory out there? Good for you. But I want to be clear. You moved your goods to market on roads the rest of us paid for. You hired workers the rest of us paid to educate. You were safe in your factory because of policies that, because of police forces and fire forces that the rest of us paid for. There's more, but I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to just dissect this for a brief moment. I was already lit up just in what I've read so far when I read it. This goes back to Obama. You didn't build that.